Okay, here's how I would suggest that you make your noonday altitude measurements. The easiest way, well, first you need a sunny spot. The easiest way would be to use like a Smart Tools app of some variety. You can find compasses, levels, all sorts of apps like that for your smartphone. I have a simple one here that gives me a couple smart tools. I'm going to start with measuring the azimuth or direction just to make sure I'm kind of close to noonday here, right? Now, a trick I want to show you is if I take a piece of paper and I take my phone, I can make sure it's pointing right at the sun if I minimize the shadow of my phone, right? So this is obviously not pointing at the sun, right? But if I make it so that the shadow is as small as possible, then it would be pointing right at the sun. Alright, so I can make sure it's not noon when I'm doing this right now, but by noon, what I don't mean is noon on the clock so much as that it's almost due south, alright? When the sun is almost due south, that would be like our noonday, alright? So that's as close as you can to due south is when we want to make that measurement. Now I have here also a level. That's how I'm going to measure the altitude of the sun. So I've got my shadow device here, piece of paper, and I'm going to minimize the shadow, and then I'm going to look at my smartphone, and it says that the altitude of the sun while I'm doing this is about 23 degrees. 22 degrees. Alright, so that is going to be my measurement for the altitude of the sun. Now if you don't have a smartphone, you could always make these measurements using your sort of estimates of kind of a rule of thumb, right? You'd say that each hand at arm's length is about 5 degrees. So you could always start at the horizon and work your way up to try to estimate the altitude of the sun. Or you could use a protractor or something like that. But I think your best bet is going to be to use a smartphone app.